What it do, y'all? In today's video, we're gonna be talking about the side effects of NoFap. I understand that with every good thing in life, there's always bad shit that comes with it. Now, with this being said, the first side effect of NoFap is that you're not gonna have this instant gratification. Alright, you're no longer gonna have this infinite access to all the titties and ass you could ever dream of. You're not gonna be able to bust a nut whenever you want. Right? Most people can't get past this shit, but understand that it's not a bad thing, right? There's nothing wrong with titties and ass. The thing is that there's a problem when you have an infinite access of this shit, right? It's like a game. You play the game, you have to win at the game in order to be rewarded, right? In life, you see a woman, you talk to the woman, you win, you have sex with her, you get rewarded with the sex, right? But nowadays, what do? We grab our phone, we grab the computer, we search up whatever the fuck we want to search up, and then we bust a nut, right? That's not natural. That is hacking the reward system. That is fucking you up for the long run. All right, so understand that that is the first side effect, but if you can see it for what it really is, then it's not going to affect you that much, all right? Now, the second side effect of NoFap is basically your emotions, right? You are going to feel like a bitch. And the reason I say this shit is because 9 times out of 10, if you have an issue to begin with, if you're watching porn excessively, if you're beating your shit excessively, you're running away from the discomfort that you feel. Whenever you feel bad shit in your life, you are distracting yourself with this pleasure. Alright, and when you do this shit, it creates a bad fucking habit. Now, when you're trying to get rid of this habit, what ends up happening is you no longer have this distraction. You're no longer running away from the issue. So you actually begin to feel whatever the fuck it is that you're feeling. So if you're feeling anger, you're gonna feel a shitload of anger if you go on NoFap, right? If you feel like you're lonely and you're depressed and you watch pornography and you jack off to be able to distract yourself from this shit, you are going to feel that shit 100 times more intensely when you get on NoFap. All right, this is one of the things that I experienced. All the negative emotions that I was experiencing all the time that I was running away from, the moment I got on NoFap, it's like they all were just right there in front of my fucking face like, yo, what the fuck is up? We haven't seen each other in a long ass time, but I'm here. And I tell you what, that shit was hard. To be able to deal with these negative emotions, these hard emotions, it changes you. It's almost like making you turn into a fucking man. It's like that manhood, the passage of rights or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But literally being able to deal with your emotions sets you apart from being a fucking little boy to being a fucking man. Alright? Now, with that being said, the third side effect of NoFap is that it's a real test of your willpower, of your discipline, right? Because when you start getting a few days in, right, it might seem easy at first. You might feel like, oh, bro, this ain't really that bad. I could do this shit. But then you start getting urges, or you go on Instagram, or you go on YouTube, or some shit, or maybe you're on Snapchat, you're talking to some chick, and she sends you a nude, or just something out of the blue pops up where it triggers you. And when that shit triggers you, that is a huge test of your willpower. And that's why I say that this is one of the biggest side effects, is because a lot of times when people feel that shit, we tend to succumb, right? When I first started this journey, there were triggers all over the fucking place. I kept all my social media, so I was constantly being bombarded with all these pictures of all these chicks pretty much dressing in nothing, pretty much revealing everything, and I'm supposed to just be all right with it. Now, like I said, ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm all right with it. I'm all right if a woman wants to show me everything. But the thing is, if you're trying to do NoFap and you're being bombarded with this shit's gonna fucking trigger you, and it's gonna make you relapse. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna make you fall back into this shit if you don't have the willpower to continue. So understand that another side effect is that it's challenging your willpower. But if you can keep going, that willpower is only gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger. And obviously you know that the more willpower you have in this life, the more tougher you are, the more capable you are to actually handle things in a real life situation. Right? It makes you mentally ready for things, mentally ready for life. All right. Now another side effect of NoFap is flatlines and wet dreams. I'm putting these together just to accommodate, or there's a word for it, but fuck yeah, I don't really give a shit. I'm putting these two together. Flatlines, when you get on NoFap, if you had an issue to begin with, usually what ends up happening is your neurotransmitters, or the receptors, the way that your brain functions, the way it utilizes dopamine and all these other neurotransmitters, that has to go through like a healing stage. All right, think about it. You're watching pornography, you're having these huge spikes of dopamine constantly, every fucking day, and now you just decided to go cold turkey and cut all that shit out. Right? You've gone cold turkey, and now it's like your brain's not receiving those unnatural spikes of dopamine. So it gets to the point where it's like, oh fuck, I can't produce this much. So then it drops to a point where it's like you pretty much have no dopamine whatsoever running through your body. And because of this shit, you tend to feel like you're at an all-time low. You feel like you don't want to do shit. You feel like you don't even want to talk to anyone. You feel like you're not interested in doing anything. Like even the shit that you love to do, you don't even want to fucking do. Right? That is the result of a flatline. Understand that the best way to get past a flatline is to do things that naturally release dopamine. So a few examples, I'm gonna get into this more in another video, but a few examples that I could say right now is things like exercise, things like socializing, things like going out of your comfort zone, things like maybe watching a movie or playing a video game. And yeah, so wet dreams. Understand that if you're not beating your shit, if you're not releasing, right, if you're not ejaculating, you're gonna have a wet dream, right? After about a month or so, your body takes care of itself. Your body's like, okay, we haven't released, so we're gonna release. And for some people, they have wet dreams. Other people, they don't have a wet dream. Other people actually release internally, right? I'm definitely gonna make a video to get more into this shit, because I don't want to make this video too long today. But understand that the body takes care of itself. It's kind of like women, how they have their periods every month, right? It's like they ovulate, the egg begins to come out. Basically, it's supposed to fertilize, right? The egg is supposed to fertilize and create a baby. It's supposed to have that reproductive stage where, okay, now we're creating a new life. But if that doesn't happen, they have the period, it gets rid of it, and then the new egg comes, right? With men, you can see it the same way, right? Your body produces the sperm. After about a month or so, your body's like, oh, well, fuck, we didn't get anything. Let's get rid of this shit and let's produce new sperm, just in case. You know, just in case this guy's over here about to bust a nutty in some sugar walls and he about to get some girl pregnant. Just in case, let's make some new sperm. All right, so keep that in mind. If you're on NoFap, about a month in, maybe even a week, maybe even a few days, it all depends on your body, how it's hardwired. But understand that you will have wet dreams. And if you don't have wet dreams and you are abstaining from all this shit, you are releasing that shit internally. Even people who do semen retention, they say, oh, I don't have wet dreams anymore. No, you're still releasing it, right? The body still takes care of itself. Don't think that you're keeping your sperm locked away so you can tap into that shit 40 years from now when you're about fucking old and turning into dust and shit. Nah, understand that your body takes care of itself, all right? Now, the next side effect of NoFap is that you could possibly run into some issues with your prostate. All right, now understand what I'm about to say because not everyone's at risk here. Okay, this isn't medical advice. I'm gonna put a disclaimer because a lot of people, they're probably gonna take this shit too seriously. But understand that it all depends on you. It all depends on your body. So there's a study that I read where they have men who are over 50 and they have men who are in their 20s. And the men who ejaculated excessively in their 20s actually had a higher risk of developing prostate issues. While the men that were over 50 who ejaculated as much as the dudes that were in their 20s, they actually reduced their risk of having prostate issues. Right? So it really all depends on your body and how it reacts. But understand that it's a possibility. Right? There's a possibility if you're doing this for the rest of your life, you might encounter some issues with your prostate. I'm gonna speak more on this in another video, but I'm gonna also leave the link to the study that I was talking about so you guys can do some more research on your own time. But understand that that's a side effect. Right? If you're doing this long term, it's something that you gotta keep in mind. Right? Now the last side effect is that NoFap can become your new addiction. All right, now the reason I say this is because NoFap is just a small stage in your life, right? It's a rebooting stage. Let me ask you something. When you have to reboot your computer, do you reboot that shit every motherfucking time you use it? Or do you only reboot it when you need to reboot it, right? So why the fuck are you doing this shit with your body? Why are you fucking with it so much? Why are you rebooting so fucking much? Why are you spending years and years and years trying to do the same fucking shit every single time? I understand that NoFap is just a period in your life where you are rebooting, all right? You spend 3 months, you spend 90 days without watching porn, without busting a nut. All right? You should completely quit the watching porn, right? But the busting a nut, I'm gonna speak on this in a second, okay? You spend 90 days. You do 90 days without doing this shit. What ends up happening is you reboot your system. Now, after the 90 days, you can choose whether you want to bring back masturbation in your life. Obviously, you're the one that is going to see, okay, I can do this 1 time a week. It's not affecting me. I can do this 2 times a week. It's not affecting me. Hold up, 3 times, it's starting to affect me. It's starting to drain my energy a little bit. You see what I'm saying here? It's a period in your life where you change. You pretty much change the cycle of your life. You change what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. You change your life in general, right? So instead of beating your shit all the time, watching porn all the time, you go from that to, okay, well now I'm doing new hobbies. Now I'm spending time with my friends. Now I'm spending time with my family. Now I'm actually capable of spending time with myself. I'm actually capable of doing things on my own time without getting bored and then running to fucking pornography or running to go bust a nut real quick. All right? So understand that NoFap is just a period in your life, right? You do the 3 months, you do the 90 days, and then you decide whether you want to bring masturbation back into your life, right? Now the masturbation has to be to sensation only. It can't be to your imagination or to a video or to sounds or something like that. But you can bring that in, and if you don't want to bring that in, that's fucking fine. You can have sex, or you can not have sex, right? Like I said, the body takes care of itself. I'm gonna make another video on this pretty soon to be able to go further in depth. Like I said, I want to keep this video short. Those are the side effects of NoFap. I hope this video helped you in one way, shape, or form. If you like the content, want to go even deeper, consider becoming a Patreon. I'm gonna leave the link in the description box down below. And with this being said, remember y'all, that the time is now.